There is so much beautiful structure within triangles that we get fantastic relationships between their angles. I want to share with you some of my favorite theorems that involve triangles and angles. Probably one of the most important ones is the triangle sum theorem, which states that the sum of the angle measures of a triangle is always equal to 180 degrees. That means, if you want to say it in sort of mathy terms, if you have a triangle ABC, if you take the measure of angle A and add it to the measure of angle B and add that to the measure of angle C, you always get 180 degrees no matter what the proportions of the triangle actually look like. And I want to show this to you live because it's such a beautiful fact. So there's a little triangle, and I'm just going to add up the angles by snipping them off. So I'm going to snip off the first angle right here. There you can see the first angle. I'm going to snip off the second angle right here. And I'm going to snip off the third angle right here. And by adding them up, I'm just going to write them next to each other. And let's see what happens. And look how amazing that is. They end up forming a perfect straight line, and we know that that angle around is exactly 180 degrees. All these angles add up to 180, and you can see that this ray right here and this ray right here line up beautifully. What a wonderful theorem. Now, in fact, you can use this theorem to do thousands of things around the house and around mathematics. Let me show you a quick example. So let's try to use this diagram and all the givens that are there to find these angles. So the first angle measure I want to find out is CBD. CBD. So that angle right there is the angle I want to find out. I don't know what it is, but look what I do know. I know that this angle right here is 93. This angle here is 42. So what that means is the total sum of the measures of the angles are 180. If I subtract off the measures of these, that's going to give me exactly the measure of that. So all we have to do is take 93 and add 42, add those up. I get a 5. I get 135. And now if I take 180 and subtract off 135, see I'm using the theorem, I produce 45. And so this measure right here is 45 degrees. All right, what's the next one I'm supposed to find? The measure of angle EAB. Where's that? EAB. So I have to look inside of this little triangle here. I know the measure of this angle is 48. That's great. But I don't know the measure of this angle yet. I notice that all of these angles, this angle, that angle, and this angle, will add up to 180 degrees because they all lie against this line, AC. So all I have to do is add up these two angles, 98 and 45, and I get 143. And then I know that this entire angle is 180. So if I take 180 and subtract off 143, I discovered that this little piece of the measure right there is 37. So this angle right here is 37. Are we home free? Not exactly, because the question asked us to find this angle. But now I have a triangle, and I know the measure of one angle is 48, measure of the other angle is 37. I know the sum of all the angles has to be 180 degrees. So if I add up these two, 48, 37, I get 85. And I know that the sum has to be 180. And so when I subtract, I see 95. So this angle right here is 95 degrees. And so there we have the measure of the angles that we wanted using this fabulous theorem that the sum of the angles of a triangle always add up when you measure them to 180 degrees.